I just got finished watching XO19. Did you guys watch my prediction video? If so, you knew exactly what to expect, and hopefully you set your expectations right, because reactions on social media are ranging from "this was a fantastic show" to "this was completely and utterly crap." Now, what do I think personally? I'm kind of in the middle. I enjoyed the show for what it was, and I want to break down everything that happened to keep you guys informed. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Randall19 back again with this XO19 review. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like and subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. So there's a lot here to cover, and I'm going to try to get through it as fast as I can. I don't want to waste anybody's time. So Microsoft started off the show with Star Wars Jedi, a big, huge game coming out tonight. I cannot wait to play it, and I thought it was pretty cool seeing the Stormtroopers on stage. Moving on quickly from Star Wars, and quickly is a key word here used to describe the show in my opinion. It was an hour and a half long. I thought it was going to be 2 hours. A lot of the interviews were kept short and sweet. There wasn't any real cringy or corny dialogue, so that was a plus in my opinion. But moving to Rare, we got a look at their next-gen IP from their other team not working on Sea of Thieves, and it absolutely looks gorgeous. It's called Everwild. It's a couple years away, but just judging from the presentation and the fantastical and mystical nature that the graphics kind of evoke, I'm quite looking forward to it. It seems to be a third-person, three-player co-op title. Definitely a departure from Sea of Thieves. So I'm looking forward to that whenever it does drop. But of course, it wouldn't be an XO show without Sea of Thieves showing up there. And they did announce that they have a new update dropping on November 20th called Seabound Soul. Features a new tall tale, and it also brings fire. You can actually shoot fire cannons and set ships on fire, so that's pretty interesting. After that, Matt Booty took the stage to talk about what's going on with Xbox Game Studios, and he kind of talked how they were out of the acquisition mode, and now it was all about delivery and execution. Is that a hint that Microsoft is no longer looking for new studios? I guess only time will tell there, and yeah, unfortunately, for you Xbox fans out there who wanted a new studio like Ready at Dawn or Asobo, none here. And who knows if Microsoft will acquire another studio going forward. With that said, we had one new IP revealed by Rare, and we have a second one revealed by Obsidian. Although this one, I would imagine, is going to garner a lot of negative reactions on social media. It's called Grounded, and it basically is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Now, the thing you got to keep in mind here is that it is a game made by 12 people. It was in development before Microsoft purchased Obsidian, much like Bleeding Edge was. It was a passion project for the team. Microsoft saw it and said, hey, can release this. We're going to put it in game preview. It kind of releases there in 2020. But while I'm interested in the new IP by Rare, I'm not really looking forward to Grounded. I don't know, it didn't really strike a chord with me. It looked too cartoony. Wasn't really digging the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids vibe. Doesn't really seem like a game for me. I'm interested in the RPGs that Obsidian makes. And they did say that they are going to be making them. They just take a little bit more time. This is just a smaller passion project that's coming out relatively soon. Next up, we had West of the Dead, which is a twin-stick shooter launching beta right now on Xbox. You had the trailer for Rust, which is a big PC franchise, a survival game coming in 2020. And then you had an extended segment about Kart Rider Drift, which is a game I had never heard of. It looked very cartoony, and you know what? That's a theme for the show. A lot of these games, from Everwild to Kart Rider Drift to Grounded, and a lot of the indie games definitely had a stylized, cartoonish approach to their art style that permeated throughout the whole show. And for those people who want photorealistic style games, they probably obviously were very disappointed in that aspect. But for those people who don't really care, who just want great games or great looking games, then I think they were happy with XO19. But that is something I did notice about this show, was the cartoony style a lot of games did have. But as I watched Kart Rider Drift, and they actually got to the gameplay segment, it actually looked pretty interesting. It looked quite competitive. It just kind of had a kiddie look to it. So we'll see what that game, plays like when we get our hands on it next year in 2020. And then Microsoft brought out Ninja Theory, not to show off or talk about the Hellblade team's new game, but to obviously tell you more about Bleeding Edge, which is officially launching on March 24th. And they showcased a new character, Cass. And obviously with all these Xbox games, their day one Xbox Game Pass, which had a big presence that we'll get into later. Right after that, we had a trailer for Planet Coaster, which obviously involves you building your own roller coaster rides. It looked pretty cool. We had maybe one of the bigger surprises of the night. Dontnod, the makers of Life is Strange, announcing that their new game is exclusive to Xbox. It's called Tell Me Why. It's not episodic, completely launches in 2020, and it features the first transgender playable character, which I'm sure will make a lot of people angry. And then we had a really cool trailer for Artful Escape, a game that looks absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait to play that game when it finally releases in 2020. Now, the next segment is what I like to call Rest in Peace Google Stadia, because Microsoft basically served the death notice to Google talking about Xcloud. They had a ton of information here. They added 50 new games to the preview, which, you know, they're adding more people all the time. These games are free as well. It doesn't matter that if you don't own Devil May Cry 5 or Forza Horizon 4. These are free to play for you to test out the service, so do so to make sure that it's actually awesome when it officially launches sometime next year. But more than that, more than just the 50 new games, they announced that it's coming to Windows PC next year, as well as Canada, India, Japan, and West Europe. They announced support for Razer controllers as well as the DualShock 4. Yeah, that's right. Sony's controller is being supported by Xcloud. Now, does that raise the suspicion that maybe Xcloud will come to PlayStation in the future? I don't think so. I think it just has to do with that's a controller a lot of people use, and it is Bluetooth enabled, so it's probably easy to get it set up and running. But more than that, they announced that Xcloud will be coming to Xbox Game Pass, and that any games that you buy will be streamable in the future, basically destroying the entirety of Google Stadia's pitch. Now imagine when you subscribe to Game Pass for $10 and you don't own an Xbox console, you'll be able to stream 200 games to your phone, whereas with Google Stadia, you gotta buy each one of those games. There is no subscription service there. I honestly felt like this was the nail in the coffin for Google, but obviously Microsoft needs to make sure that Xcloud is working properly, which is why they're adding more games for you to test, get the latency right, and adding more countries down the road. I thought this, even though this segment had a couple mistakes by the presenters, I think the teleprompter went out, it was a good roadmap for what to expect for Xcloud. Now, next up, we had the Black Friday deals, and all you really need to know is that you can get $150 off each one of the consoles, which means if you're in the market for the Xbox One X, it's going to be on sale for $350. And if you want something really cheap, the Xbox One SAT Edition will be on sale for $150. Following up that segment where Xbox utterly decimated Google Stadia in 5 minutes, Microsoft showed off a new trailer for a brand new game from the Molasses Flood called Drake Hollow. It doesn't really strike a chord with me, but maybe I'll check it out when it comes out in 2020. And then we got the announcement PC gamers have been waiting for regarding Halo. Halo Reach is coming to Xbox on December 3rd, and the Halo Master Chief Collection is also coming to PC, Windows 10, and Steam on December 3rd as well. I cannot wait to replay the Halo Reach campaign. It's one of my favorite Halo campaigns of all time. To see it remastered in 4K and playable at 60 frames is going to be an absolute treat for anybody that wants to experience that incredible campaign once again. And then Microsoft showed off a trailer for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which honestly looks better and better every time they show it off. It is so stunning. But the problem I have with that game is it's a flight simulator. I have no interest in actually playing that. However, it's on Game Pass. It's launching on PC first, so whenever it does come to Xbox, I will check it out. Who knows how long I'll play it, but honestly, I could probably watch footage of that game all day. It looks absolutely stunning. And then a lot of RTS fans have been asking, hey, where the hell is Age of Empires 4? Well, Microsoft showed off some gameplay today, Shannon Loftus took the stage to talk more about Age 4 and announced that they have a new name for their studio, which is called World's Edge. Now, I've never been an RTS guy, right? It's not my genre, but I gotta say, Age of Empires 4 looks pretty cool, and I will definitely check it out whenever that game heads to Xbox. Then we had the first gameplay of Crossfire X. I know a lot of people are wondering, like, what the hell is that game? Because it's a Korean Counter-Strike game. It's made in partnership with Smilegate and Remedy, coming, I believe, exclusively to Xbox, or maybe first to Xbox next year, and it surprised me. I'm actually looking forward to checking out that game when it launches in 2020. Following that gameplay debut of Crossfire X, we had a trailer for Last Stop, and immediately that game captured my attention, and then it said from the makers of Virginia, and I'm like, that is going to be one of my most anticipated games for next year. I love Virginia. It's an indie game that came out in 2016, one of my favorite games of that year, and to see this team with their next game, I cannot wait to play Last Stop. That game looks so cool. And then finally, we had a gameplay demonstration for Minecraft Dungeons. It's basically a Minecraft Diablo, like mini-sized Diablo. It looks pretty cool. 4-player co-op, Game Pass day 1, and it's launching sometime in April 2020. And then we get into a big segment about Game Pass. Microsoft is really going all out for Game Pass. They announced 50 games, that's right, 50 games coming to Xbox Game Pass. Some you'll be able to play right now, like Rage 2 and Remnant of the Ashes. Others you'll be able to play this holiday, like Darksiders 3, My Friend Pedro, and The Witcher 3, and some are next year, including a former PlayStation franchise making its way over to Xbox finally, the Yakuza series. 3 Yakuza games, in fact, all coming early 2020, Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami 1, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. But it doesn't stop there. Microsoft is also adding every Final Fantasy game to Game Pass. So that's Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9, 10, 10-2, 13, 13-2, Lightning Returns, and Final Fantasy 15. And then in an interview after the show, Phil Spencer mentioned that he is going to be bringing Final Fantasy 14 to Xbox sometime in the future. So basically the entire series is going to be at home on Xbox. But Square Enix wasn't done bringing games to Xbox. They also officially announced Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 will be coming to Game Pass. So Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix, as well as Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 will be joining Game Pass in 2020. And Microsoft's holiday promotion is back in effect for the service. You can get 3 months for a single $1, and for any current subscriber or new subscriber of Game Pass Ultimate, you're going to be getting 1 month of EA Access, 3 months of Discord Nitro, and 6 months of Spotify Premium. I said it once and I'll say it again, Xbox Game Pass is absolutely killing it right now, and XO19 was another example of how the service is just going to dominate and get better and offer more value going into the future. We are approaching the end of the show. Phil Spencer took the stage to talk about Xcloud and how it's just a choice, and he wants to give Xbox gamers the ability to play any of their Xbox games on the go. He talked about getting more third-party support, bringing over more Japanese games, and he knows that he has work to do there. And it's always great to hear from Phil. And then he mentioned how one of the games from one of their new studios is he's really looking forward to, and that's Wasteland 3, which is the game they actually closed the show on, and it's launching on May 19th. Now, I think Wasteland 3 looks cool, the graphics, but the problem is I'm not really into the XCOM turn-based style, so we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I get my hands on it when that game launches in May. So there you go, guys, everything that was announced at XO. I'll be making some individual videos about certain topics in the future, but I actually thought the show was okay. It was good. I enjoyed myself more than I did at E3, but I think my expectations might have been out of whack for E3 because that completely disappointed me. Maybe it's because I kept my expectations in check for this, which is why you don't see me agreeing with the people on Twitter saying that this was an utter catastrophe, but I'm not also one of those people saying that this was one of their best shows ever made. I thought it was a pretty good show. For an inside Xbox experience, it probably was the best one they've ever done. They kept the corny jokes to an absolute minimum, which is exactly what was plaguing the show. Now, with all that said, I think Microsoft definitely needs to bring it next year. We need to find out more information about Xbox Scarlet, if they're doing a media event. I want to see Ninja Theory's new IP, what the Hellblade team's working on. I want to see whatever the Playground team is, the RPG that they're working on. So there's some things that I still need to see from Xbox. But as for this show in particular, I thought it was alright. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about XO19 in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.